Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast, where we share strategies and support for artists to thrive.
We know that the art world can feel like a lonely place, and we want to provide a network of support, impactful strategies, and an abundance of encouragement to help you grow your authentic art career.
We're your hosts. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Kaylan Butine, and we are also the co-founders of the Thrive Together Network, a community of female and non-binary identifying artists and artists who are caregivers.
We truly believe in community over competition, and we're so glad you're here. Enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, welcome. If you're a listener, we are so happy that you are here. I'm Jamie Smith. I am one of your hosts of this podcast. And whenever I look back and reflect, especially this time of year, I will say I'm always impressed with what I did get done. In the moment, I feel like I haven't got enough done, but when you look back at it all, it's pretty impressive.
I'm Kaylan Butine, your second host, and I definitely agree with you, Jamie. When I reflect, I actually implement celebrations, which helps me feel proud of that work that I've done. Instead of kind of always pushing forward to the next thing, I stop and say, oh my gosh, I did this. I totally forgot I did that. I was already on to the next thing. And then, I can remind myself to celebrate the hard work that I'm doing. So that is kind of what episode number 57, How Looking Back Can Help You Move Forward, is all about. This episode that you're listening to now. This is really an episode that is inspired by an art and tea session that we call the Artist Timeline. And this is where we ask our Thrive Together Network members to look back in time over the past 6 years. And for each year, write down art practice and business highlights. So these are things that you've accomplished, that you've made happen each year. It can help to look at photos, to pull up your calendar, journals, and all of that to kind of help jog your memory. Because when you're just sitting there, it's hard to remember everything you do.
And we really make it a challenge because it's 6 years, which
Yes.
we do on purpose because, looking back over the year, it's kind of a short picture of everything you've done. So 6 years, that's a long time. I'm proud of our members for getting on board and doing it.
Yeah, even looking through your Instagram or like your newsletters, kind of what content have you been sharing? All of that is ways to remind yourself of all you've done. So we just really believe in the principle of looking back and how that, sort of model of looking back and reflecting can help you set better intentions for moving forward in the future. So a huge benefit of looking back is that you see how far you've come. You see this evidence of your past accomplishments, and that helps you build this confidence that we all want as artists. It's really important for us to remain confident, right? Because we're just putting our work out in the world. It's such a vulnerable thing to be an artist. And it's really important for us to remember the success that we've had in the past, to the growth that we've experienced, so that we can push ourselves to keep going. And it can be hard to be our own cheerleader. And sometimes we just need to see the facts. Like, we have done this, we have made this much work, we have, completed these shows, we did make those connections. So whenever you're able to look back, it helps you see how far you've come.
And it really helps that it's written down because it's easy for our mind to forget these things. And again, another important point of looking back is it makes you realize that you are doing a lot. So this timeline exercise is really important to me. We have a worksheet in our Thriving Artist map, and I've actually taken that worksheet and put it at my desk, and it is there as a reference point. So when I feel like I'm in my own way or I feel like I have nothing done, I can see that I have accomplished a lot and I am capable, and my work ethic has got me here. So it's kind of this reminder to keep going, because day by day really adds up to the year by year and this long game, this long picture of being a working artist. So I love it. It's, number 2 is you're doing a lot, and this will help you not forget it when you look back.
Absolutely. And, the third thing that looking back can help you do is it shows you that the things do add up. Like you said, they start to build on each other. You see that little things, small connections, little pebbles become big things. They become these monumental, ripples that move outward and grow bigger as you build on your career. My artist timeline has really showed me that, the seeds that I was planting 5, 6 years ago, starting the Artist Mother podcast and putting my work out in the world, like, look at where I am now. I'm at this big, beautiful place in my career. I'm in this community. And, it's in that moment of that 5 or 6 years ago, Kaylan, I think she was probably feeling pretty insecure, not knowing what she was doing. And then like you kind of look back and see it all was relevant. Things really do add up. So it
Mhm.
just feels very empowering to be reminded that even the little things count, and brick by brick we're building these careers, and that work that you're doing now will matter in the future.
And to add to that, another way looking back can help you is to recognize your consistency. So, what I mean by this is that when we look at these little things adding up, you start to kind of see that there is an arc. There are themes of opportunities that have come in your way. There's patterns of things that you're drawn to that you've made happen. Sometimes this is the actual work you've made, but often it's even these opportunities that you've, taken advantage of or you've made happen for yourself. So when you look at this timeline, you have it all written down. It's important to spend some time to recognize these threads that have been this is powerful information for moving forward, because you can see the things that just flow, the
Mhm.
things that are effortless for you to make happen. You might be a great networker, and so you actually bring people to you. You want to keep going with that. It can help you realize that in the new year, that's what you're going to focus on. We want to let go of the things that always feel like a push. We're always pushing. So I think this gives us lots of clues for moving into the future. But it also really helps us pull out these threads of what we're good at. And honestly, this can help even with writing an artist statement, thinking about your CV, all these things that we have to do. Having all of this written down can really help us move forward, which I love the idea of just flow, this working in a
Yes.
flow.
Absolutely. I will say, Jamie, that I think this has been a powerful thing that working with you has taught me, because you already kind of knew the value of this reflection and looking back. And, doing this work together, this is just one of the lessons the community is teaching, that, it is so important to look back and to remember all that we've done. I'm such a present and future oriented person. Like, it's kind of once it's in the past, who cares? It doesn't matter. I spend so much of my energy thinking forward and thinking ahead. But that's not the complete picture. Like, I've lived this whole life that brought me to this moment today, and honoring and reflecting on that, I think, is, really the best way to move forward. So I have more intention and more awareness about who I am and the work I'm doing in the world. So thank you for
Well,
this great reminder.
it feels, the idea of a clean slate, the idea of moving forward, jumping ahead, setting goals. In some ways, those just feed this culture around us of the next thing,
Hmm.
grinding, and the reflection part it can often be not as fun
Right.
because
It's not as sexy.
it's not as sexy, no. And but it actually, with this idea of how do we move forward,
Hmm.
then you're actually doing the sexy things of
Yeah.
what is the strategy, and it's smarter, not working harder, which I love and try to do. It's very hard though, because we tend to get in our own way.
Yep.
But yeah, it is possible, and I think reflection is really key for that.
Absolutely. But because we are in who we are, and because we're at the time of year that we're in, I do want to remind you that right now, as a community, we are in this like thick of goal settings and planning out our new years. It's a very exciting time. We would really love for you to join us in 2024 and make your artist dreams come true in community with us. We don't care what you've done in your past, but we are excited to honor what you've done in your past and let that bring you into the present moment with us and join us in community. You can sign up for a whole year to become part of our network and to be in virtual community with us. There's so much that we offer. You can find everything, like the full list of what your membership would bring you when you head to thrivetogethernetwork.com. And you do save quite a bit of money if you book for the whole year. And it's a great time to do that. We have created an entire studio planner with monthly themes that has the activities like the one that we mentioned today, the artist timeline activity. And that book is called the Thriving Artist Map. And that's what we follow as a community. And you can order a hard copy of this book to use throughout the year. And it's just a great way, a touch point to kind of keep you connected to what matters to you, to goal set, and to have that accountability and us cheering you on. So we would love to get to know you. We would love to be in community with you. And we hope that you're enjoying the podcast and that it's insightful. As always, Jamie and I are here for you. We are cheering you on. And we so believe in the work that you are doing to be a thriving artist.